Absolutely, right? And you look good in that Captain Kobe shirt, man. I gotta say, makes
Go
your
out in
muscle look
style,
big,
bro.
man. That's all right, man. Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing? Captain Kobe coming back at you live on a big Memorial Day weekend. All
Big
right?
weekend.
Yeah, big weekend. I got a special guest with us, Mr. Quentin Gilbo. He cooked some sausage with us before. Got some fantastic reviews on that sausage,
Good,
man. People are
good.
loving that. I'm glad you came back.
Yep.
Me and Quentin go way back. Since we were kids, we've been knowing each other for a very long time. We've had some mutual, not necessarily my family, but they've been kind of family friends.
Yep.
So we go back to that. And today, we got a fantastic show lined up for you. This is a staple here in South Louisiana. I'm not sure if anybody else makes this outside of Louisiana.
There's probably some formats of it in other places. Probably the German people probably have a
maybe so.
format.
Okay.
It's dying off. It's not quite as popular as it used to be.
Right.
But back in the day, every street corner that had, if they were selling boudin, you could find this.
Well, in case you're wondering what we're cooking, we are making hog head cheese. It is a staple down here in South Louisiana. It is fantastic, and we're here to bring it to y'all today. So stay tuned. We're gonna get Mr. Quentin to let you know everything you need to make hog head cheese. All right, everybody. Quentin, let them know, man. Let them know what we need to make a Cajun staple and hog head cheese.
First of all, we don't need any cheese.
No.
We don't need any cheese.
That's right, man.
whatsoever.
We so used to that. I didn't even think about saying that.
Is the number one question. Well, what kind of cheese is in it?
That's right.
There is no cheese in it. I'm gonna guess the reason that they called it hog head cheese was because it's a loaf type like cheese.
Right, I got you.
So I'm assuming that's how they got it.
All
But
right.
basically what it winds up being is a ground meat cold loaf at
Right.
the end of the day. Not too many people use the hog head anymore.
No, that's
So
the old tradition.
That's the old tradition. But what we are looking for is I do use pig's feet a lot of times. You're trying to get the gelatinous and
Right.
the cartilage type.
Right.
Is what you're trying to get.
And you do get that out of the feet.
You get out of the feet.
Right.
And also, one of the problems with the feet is you don't wind up with a whole lot of substance, and there's a ton of bones. I do also use the backbone with the skin on, and then I fill up the rest of the meat with Boston butt.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna ball all the meat, get it to a tender stage,
Okay.
then we're gonna grind it. The common seasoning wise is basically just any type of all-purpose seasoning, salt and pepper. A lot of times they were a little heavy on black pepper,
Right.
green onions, and cracked red pepper.
Okay.
It doesn't require
Well, we got
a
the
whole
perfect
lot.
thing for that. We got some Captain Kobe's Cajun seasoning that covers all of those bases, baby. I promise
We're
you.
gonna get it with it,
Absolutely.
and that's about it. We'll grind it up. We'll add the broth back.
Okay.
We'll put it in a loaf pan,
Right.
and we'll chill it.
Okay.
At the end, we'll have a loaf. That's hog head cheese.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We're about to get busy right here. We're going to show you exactly what you need and how to make this whole process happen. And I hope you enjoy it. All right, everybody. While Quentin's over there putting everything to ball, we're going to go ahead and cut this Boston butt up. And when we cut this up, we just want it to be, big enough. Get you an idea of what we're talking about right here. To fit in the grinder hole right here. All right, so we're just gonna pretty much cut this in half, and get this prepped out to get grinded up.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the pig's feet.
Okay.
Because those are gonna take longer
Yeah,
to,
you get
to
that
break
gelatin
down.
out of there,
And
then.
you get the gel out.
Right.
You need to break them down.
Okay.
And then probably about an hour, hour and a half. and then we'll add the other meats to it and
Okay.
let them cook probably for about another hour or so.
All right. All right. Our feet.
Feet's been going for about an hour.
Okay.
We're gonna add the other stuff into it.
All right.
So this is the backbone that we were talking about. Has the skin still on it.
Yes.
Those won't take as long to cook. We want to leave the bone in it because that's where a lot of our flavor is going to come from.
The
is from the
bone
bone.
marrow. That's absolutely awesome.
And in our Boston butt that we had, there is a bone in it, so we're going to take that off. That way
Cut
we
that
can
down.
shred the meat and everything. All right.
All right.
We'll let this come back to a ball. Probably about another hour, hour and a half.
Okay.
Should all be tender.
All right. You
We'll
let mine
better-
go about 3 hours, ball all that together. So yeah,
Let it
you're
take
right on
out.
time with it.
And then we'll better grind it.
I like it.
Then we'll make some cheese.
It's all about letting it cook. Yeah, some cheese with no
We'll make some
cheese.
cheese with no cheese.
I like it. Stay tuned.
All right, so we just wanted to show y'all a little difference here of what's gonna make the hog head cheese bind. So you see the water's not clear anymore on this side.
Yeah, it's cloudy. It's got
It's
that
cloudy.
gelatin
So
almost starting
this
to come
is the
out, too.
gel. You're not gonna see it too good till it cools off, but you'll notice it has some body to the water. Whereas on this side, there is no gel on this side, and you can see the difference in the water, how it flows.
This rolls out of there.
So this is what's gonna gel and make the cheese part of hog head cheese, and that's what's gonna be the body of it.
So it makes it the best, baby. All right, we've been having this rolling for about
Just over 2 hours.
yeah, 2 hours. All right. You liking it?
Yep. I think everything's good enough. You don't want it too tender. You don't want it to mush up on you.
Right.
Whenever you're grinding it, you want it to build a hold some body to it.
Right.
Remember, it's a bland color. We have no seasoning. If we
Nothing.
tried seasoning the water right now, we would just lose all of our seasoning. So we don't want to season the water. We're going to season everything once we grind
That's
it.
right.
So that's why it looks pale. We have nothing added to this right now.
Okay.
All the feet are opening up.
You know, probably back in the day, in the medieval times, this is probably how they ate their meat, man. Just ball in some water,
No seasoning.
no seasoning.
Nope.
I would not.
There was no Captain Kobe around.
Oh, I would not like to have lived in those times. Not from a culinary standpoint. I
No,
can tell
not
you
at
that.
all.
One bad thing about making hog head cheese in the summer in Louisiana,
You're gonna sweat a little.
it's hot.
You're
You
gonna
sweating,
sweat a little
and
bit.
you're sweating standing over that pot, and you're sweating standing over that thing coming out of there. You got everything?
That's it.
Right, baby, let's go make this happen. Hey, I'm gonna put my phenomenal apron on because you know when it's all said and done, it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. So we got everything separated. We separated the Boston butt, or most of the meat
That already doesn't have bones in
that
it.
don't have bone. That's right. So our next process in this whole part of that is to separate the meat from the bone. We don't want to grind the bone. Nobody wants to eat bone. I don't want to eat the bone.
Not only that, you don't want to tear up a grinder either, because
Exactly.
you want to
Absolutely.
dull a grinder knife.
In a second.
Pass a bone through it, yeah. But it'll cost you more trouble. So
Sure.
this is the slowest part of making hog head cheese.
Right.
That's why if you use the backbone, more of it, you won't have to fight with
All the little bones.
quite all the little bones. When you start getting to the feet, you have a bunch of knuckle bones that are in there
Right.
that you're pulling out, and it's a lot easier to miss one of these than it is to do the backbone.
Sure.
However, nothing else besides the feet and the head quite have quite
Right.
as much cartilage.
Right.
And that's what hog head cheese is known for. So you'll get some of the same concept, you just won't get some of the cartilage pieces that are in it.
That's
But you
it.
could still make it work.
Well, now you know why you got to boil the meat so long, right?
Right.
You know, get render that fat out of there, and all that gelatin out of there. Basically, is what I call it. And then
Which is still sitting in our water that we're going to use once we
That's
start
right.
mixing this up.
and you wanted to get off that bone too. All right.
See it?
We're left with bones. We got this all
I don't think so. It looks pretty good.
torn apart.
I think you
Yeah, we're gonna grind this thing up and
season it.
season it up and show you the process of the hog head cheese. All right, everybody. Look, we're in the grinding process. We're gonna kind of tag team this. I'm gonna stack everything on the back side. Let Quentin kind of push it down right there. I don't like my fingers by that grinder, so I'll let you go ahead on and do that.
That's not a
right.
problem.
All right, well, let's get with it. All right, we pause for a second just so I can try to explain a couple things to you. So you don't always want to just put your backbone or the busted butt all together. You want to mix it up. You need to have that fat in there with it. You need to have some of that pig feet stuff there. So you want to kind of get a good mixture of that as you grinding that together. Even though you're going to mix it all together in the end, it just kind of helps displace all that together while you roll it, right? All right, so let's get back to grind.
Let's get it.
All right, everybody, as you can see, we moved this process in from outside for two reasons. Number one, we just have a lot more room on this table. My cooktop is nice, but it just doesn't have the amount of room that this thing does. And it's about 92 degrees today, and we were sweating our behind off out there, so it's way better than the air conditioner, I'm here to tell y'all.
Yep.
All right,
So we're gonna season it up.
let's season it up. We went ahead and grounded the meat. I went ahead and brought it in the tub. We're gonna mix everything together right here. Quentin has everything broken down to, I say, pretty close measurements for you right there. If you're kind of anxious on and need a certain number, we kind of went ahead and did that for you.
Unfortunately, I didn't plan ahead, and I don't have it calculated for Captain Kobe seasoning.
That's all right.
So this is the seasoning that I normally use.
That's fine.
On a regular basis.
I think our season's close anyway, so we good.
All right, so the first thing that we're gonna use is half a cup. This is the seasoning, the blended seasoning that I'm gonna use is from Targill.
Okay.
So this is our French fry seasoning.
But before we get started, I want to let y'all know we have about 8 pounds.
About 8 pounds of meat.
Yeah.
About 8 pounds of meat.
Right.
So
A
we're
little
gonna
above, not much more, but 8 pounds.
So we're gonna use a half a cup of French fry seasoning. This seasoning is more salty than it is spicy, so we'll get our salt from this.
Okay.
We're gonna do a half a cup of our sausage seasoning,
Okay.
which does not have curing salt or anything in it. It's just a seasoning that's utilized for sausage.
Okay.
We're gonna use a half a cup of that. We're gonna put a little bit extra on the garlic. We're gonna do 4 tablespoons on the garlic. Then we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of cracked red pepper.
I like it.
Some people may know this as pizza pepper.
I call it pepper flakes.
It's pepper flakes. One of the first times I got a phone call asking if we had pizza pepper, I had no idea what the gentleman was talking about.
Now you know.
And he said, what you always find in the pizza places. Oh, cracked red pepper.
Gotcha.
To us, it's cracked red pepper flakes.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 1 tablespoon of salt. We're gonna do 1 cup of green onion tops. These are dehydrated onion tops. I think these work fairly well.
It's gonna be rehydrated in just a few minutes.
Exactly. And then we're gonna use the broth that we had from what we
With that gelatin in it, we showed you that a little bit earlier.
Exactly.
So we still have the pot. When we took the meat out, we just took it out the grind.
So we're gonna try to take it from the top because the gel will be more towards the top. And this is gonna be 12 cups of broth. This is it may change on you as you doing each recipe. Sometimes you may not need as much broth. Sometimes you may need more seasoning. It's a good starting point. I'm not gonna go to full 12. Let's just put another.
Right on it right there.
We'll put another 2. And if you notice, the juice is still hot.
It is hot.
That's gonna rehydrate and help incorporate everything. Also, if it were to start cooling off, your gelatin in the pot would start getting gummy on you.
Yeah, so you gotta kind of be in sequence here when you're making this recipe. You can't be
Yeah,
sleeping.
there's some things that have to happen kind of at certain points. Think she's good?
Good.
Yep.
Okay.
So we have some loaf pans. You don't need to put any type of anti-stick or Pam or anything like that in it. We'll just put it straight to the pans. And then we typically tap them down because again, you're trying to make a loaf. So you want as little air in it as possible.
All right. Next process for this is
Refrigerator.
cool them up. Yeah. So we're gonna stick these in the fridge. By a miracle of TV, and it'd be ready way faster than an artist. But
Yeah, normally it'll take at least 4 hours. Overnight's best, just so you
Yes.
can let the flavors just lock into
come
each
together.
other. Yep.
so we're gonna go ahead on and put them in the fridge, let them gel up, and then we'll show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. Come back in about 4-5 hours and cut a couple pieces out of one. I'm gonna let the rest go. Crew tomorrow. Man, we we cut half the loaf when we cut some pieces out of loaf, but we didn't have the whole big loaf to come out there and cut that out. So we just kept it kind of simple so everybody can tell. This is a food that we eat as a snack. Kind of go to the store, get us a little snack, of Hog Head Cheese. And a lot of people eat it with crackers. Some people eat it just like this. Me personally, I like it on the these little butter crackers, I call them. And let's see how we came out with Quentin's Hog Head Cheese here. Right on point, man. Mm-hmm.
Good flavor.
Very good flavor.
And they can see. That's what it'll do. It'll firm up.
Yeah. It gets firm just like that. It gets kind of glassy when you see it as it kind of, melts a little bit on there. But listen, if you want a good snack, you need hors d'oeuvres out there.
A fancy Cajun hors
a
d'oeuvre.
fancy Cajun hors d'oeuvres. We make Hog Head Cheese. Hey, listen, try this. I think you'll absolutely love it. If people don't know what this is and you just let them taste this on a cracker or even by itself, they would absolutely love it. They wouldn't even know no better, right? Only you would know the difference. So, hey, listen, thank y'all for coming tonight, this evening. Thank y'all for watching Captain Kobe Cajun cooking. Thank you, Quentin, for coming out here and making some Hog Head Cheese. I know that's a whole process to bring all the equipment out here and do all that. I
Happy to do
honestly
it.
appreciate it. And,
Especially to share something like this that's done.
absolutely, right? And you look good in that Captain Kobe shirt, man. That's something makes your
Go out in
muscle
style,
look big,
boy.
man. That's all right, man. Well, all right. Listen, try this, cook this, eat this. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm having another piece. And like we always say, keep cooking.